Hi, my name is Ali Keegan, and I'm a criminal defense attorney at the Law Office of David Shapiro in San Diego, where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. I have here today with us one of our incredible legal assistants, Brooke Walker, to talk about the purpose of screening calls ahead of your actual case evaluation with one of the attorneys at our office. And our managing partner, David Shapiro, actually did a really great YouTube video on this that you should also check out about the value that you can get from a firm that does these type of screening calls ahead of time. And that's that one, it helps make sure it's something we can help with. And two, it really helps the attorney maximize the time they have with you so that we can focus on your priorities and your needs. But today is more focused on why we specifically ask what we ask during those screening calls. And while everything you tell us is confidential, some people do wonder why our firm tends to ask more detailed questions or more thorough questions during those screening calls. So we have Brooke here today to discuss what actually goes down during that call, what you can expect during that initial screening, and why we do those calls the way that we do. So Brooke, let me go ahead and ask you, what are the first things you ask during that call?
The first thing I'll ask when a potential client calls into the firm is if this is a criminal matter relating in San Diego. So the law office of David Shapiro, our firm does only do criminal defense here in San Diego. We are very specialized and very proud of our knowledge of the San Diego court system. We pride ourselves, on our criminal defense that we provide our clients. So if you're calling in for, say, a civil matter or maybe real estate or some other case, we want to know right away if we're able to assist you or not. If we're not, then we are happy to point you in the direction of an attorney who is best suited to assist you.
So then let's say we determine it's a type of case that we do handle. It's a San Diego criminal defense case, and you're ready to proceed with the screening call. What's the first thing you'd ask then?
So the first thing I'm going to do is, like you said earlier, the conversation is confidential, so I will notify the potential client that anything that they do say is confidential. I want them to feel comfortable speaking with me because when they're calling in, it usually is a tough conversation to have. So once we start talking, I'll ask the name, date of birth, and good contact information. We understand that right when you call in may not be the best time to speak. You may be going through an emotional or difficult time. You may be with law enforcement as we're speaking. So we want to make sure that we have that information listed for you so we can reach out to you at a time that's either better for you, or we can continue to check in and make sure that we're able to assist you and keep moving forward. Some people are curious why we do ask a date of birth and why that is important and the legal spelling of your first and last name. For that, we are able to run, past case searches and warrant searches. Part of this is to give you some ease, of mind when we're speaking to you, so I can do a quick warrant search if that's something you're worried about and notify you that information right away, and then also pull any relevant information for the attorney prior to your consultation.
Okay. And do you ask anything else about the person's specific details, their personal situation, or their personal life?
Yeah, so I will. Going further into the conversation, we will ask details about if you have children, what your job is, and you can probably explain more why these factors are important to an attorney.
Yeah. One of the first things I look at when I'm reading your or one of our other legal assistants, another member of our team's notes ahead of our case evaluation with the attorney, is what the person does for a living, or like you said, whether they have children. And it sounds kind of like some people think it's irrelevant. Some people don't know what that has to do with their case, but it actually matters a lot, because if you have a professional licensing issue and say you're a contractor or a doctor, any sort of professional that requires a professional license, your case could potentially affect that. And it helps to find those priorities and those needs early on to make sure we're keeping it in mind throughout the process so we can really tailor your situation to you. If you have children and it's maybe a domestic violence or some sort of a child endangerment or neglect case, we can also prep you for CWS, which is what used to be CPS, and let you know that they might be swinging by and help you mentally prepare for situations like that. So the more we know about you as a person, the more we can help you as a person instead of just some guy or girl that they put on a piece of paper in a police report. We can make sure that we're really addressing your individualized needs throughout your case. So that is why when Brooke is asking you, what do you do for a living? Or do you have any children that live with you? What's your marital situation? All of that are things we're going to incorporate throughout your case evaluation to make the most of our time. And then beyond that, obviously what we look for, which Brooke can explain, is what actually happened. So Brooke, what do you ask about there?
So next, I will ask some details about what the current allegation is. It is sometimes hard for people to discuss things like this. So I may ask if, a bystander was there, what would they describe that they saw? Or if you were contacted by law enforcement, what kind of questions is law enforcement asking you? Do you have any idea what incident they may be referencing? Or if there is, a complaining witness, someone who has said that they're going to file charges against you, then I will say, do you know what they may have, what incident they may be referencing that they're alleging currently against you? There's different ways to ask. The most important thing is we want to get your side of these details and make sure, that you're being heard and that we know what you're experiencing through this time and how the attorney can best assist you.
So when all is said and done, what is the next step as far as, now that you have all the information you need, what are the next steps you and the potential client take to move forward in the process?
So the next steps that we ask for is I would request that this potential client send any documents that they have relating to this alleged matter. This is helpful because the attorney can review them prior to the consultation. So what this allows is all of your information to already be noted so that when you do speak with an attorney, like say you have a consultation with Ms. Keegan or Allie, then she can go into further detail on a more legal advice side than what I can do as a legal assistant, but she has all that information already, that she's not asking these baseline questions and can dive right into, your specific needs.
So start to finish, how long would you say the average screening call takes for a potential client?
It should only take around 10 to 15 minutes. It's quick. We're very efficient when we know what we want to ask. So the biggest thing is that, the potential client is willing to speak with us.
Awesome. So thank you, Brooke, for running us through our typical screening call protocol. If you out there are facing criminal charges in San Diego or you're under investigation and would like to speak with Brooke or one of our other legal assistants to do the screening and then set up a case evaluation with myself or one of the other attorneys at our firm, go ahead and give us a call. Our phone number is 619-295-3555.